Hello friend, how are you? I'm Ankita, and in this video I'm going to discuss about sirens. Not those sirens which are put on vehicles, but the mythological creatures. So sirens nowadays lot of people compare them with mermaids. So nowadays a lot of people think that sirens are mermaids, but who mermaids which are evil ones. The evil mermaid is siren. But in olden times, when the mythology started, sirens were not half fish, half human, but they were half bird and half human. Yes, sirens were not fishes, they were birds. You know, the reason why people nowadays regarded them as mermaids because sirens are often associated with sailors and sea. Whenever we talk about sirens, we talk about they luring the sailors with their sweet voices and drowning them or killing them. So we assume that they are like the evil version of mermaids. But the true origin of them is birds. So first I will start with the physical description. So this is an old Greek mythology. In earlier depictions of sirens, the women faces and the entire body is of bird. Siren generally when we talk they are like females, but there have been cases of male ones also, but majority of them are women. So imagine a large bird with the face of a woman. But later slowly they from just face they use the entire upper body of a woman. So earlier it was just bird with human face, but then they got glamorized and they have like female torso, so female like breast and female upper body, so they were like more like beautiful and a sexual kind of. Slowly they got sexualized a lot, and they were like regarded as the epitome of beauty, with very beautiful face and body and very sweet melodious voice. But in earliest versions they were not like regarded as the beautiful ones, but they were regarded as someone who had a very melodious voice which can lure the people in. With their voice they can attract people, they can like mesmerize people with their voices. But later they were regarded as the beautiful ones who were evil, and they used their sexuality to attract men and end them. So the origin of siren is little bit mixed up because there are like multiple origins. They're like when I like looked into sirens and who were sirens, so there are like lots of assumptions about them, who they are, whether they're good or bad, what is the origin, where they formed. So one of the earliest discussion and description of sirens was in Homer's book Odyssey. So Odyssey is a very famous book. I think a lot of people know about or at least heard about it. So in that book sirens were first mentioned, but their physical description was not clearly mentioned. They were described as something enchanting, but their accurate physical description was not exactly given there. Some people believe that the sirens were actually inspired by Asian songbirds. So in Asia there is like myth about songbirds which capture souls and take away the souls. So some people believe that siren was inspired by the songbirds of Asia. where the beautiful birds will come and take away the souls and go to hell. I mean, literally. Or there are also like assumptions. Some people believe that they are harpies. So harpy is also a different kind of a bird, which is half woman, half bird. So harpies were the first sirens, and people like then change their name and turn them into sirens. So I'm planning to make a video on harpies for my Patreon subscribers. So please stay tuned for it. Even their story is similar to sirens. They were also like women who are like very dangerous, and they can capture people and take them away or kill them. But they are like regarded as more like dangerous and ferocious one. Sirens are more alluring. Sirens are more like attractive ones. Harpies are regarded as something dangerous. So I'll make a video about harpies soon for Patreon users. So next is their like family. So who were Sirens' parents? Like what is their origin? Like where did they come from? So when I looked into it now, since there are like multiple origins of them, multiple stories about them, there is no fixed about who their parents were. They're like multiple parents. So one of the parents is Achilles. Achilles is a river god. They had daughter with either Terpsichore, Melpomene, Calliope or Stereope. So Achilles is the one parent, and there are 4 options. It can be either of them. So no one knows which of them 4. Then next parent couple is Oceanus and Gaia, and there are some more as well, and some of them are like they were not like born sirens, but they were converted into sirens. So I will talk about them in their myths. So their location, sirens were like mostly located in Europe, because this is a European story, European mythology. So most of the sirens location was in Europe. One of the location was an island between Aiaia and Cycla, which was described by Homer. Next is in the west coast of Italy near Naples. Then Sirenum, Clopuli, which are some islands which are described by Roman poets. I most probably think I butchered most of the names, but I tried my best. So if you are from Europe, please let me know whether my pronunciation are correct, and if they are wrong, what is the correct pronunciation. But these were like some of the areas where like sirens were present. So in different stories na, sirens location changes. So in some stories they are in this place, some stories they are in this place, but they are mostly in like shown in islands near the seas. So they were living somewhere near in island, coastal area, near in a cliffs and all. So that is why now they are associated with sea, and that is why nowadays people think they are mermaids. Then let's cover the myths. One of the myths of siren is in the book, Homer's book, Odysseus. So in that book there is a hero named Odysseus. He's a Greek hero. He went on an exploration all around the world, and it's a very huge book. So in that book, Odysseus had heard about the legends of sirens, and he heard about their like melodious voice, and he wanted to listen to them. But the sorceress Circe told him that it's a very dangerous idea. Sirens are known to lure men into their death. So if they listen to the song of siren, they might die. So they have to avoid the listening to the sirens. but Odysseus really wanted to listen. So then he came up with that idea that he will tie himself to the mast, the huge pole in a ship. He'll tie himself to that, so he doesn't have control over the ship. So they cannot he cannot control the steering, and they cannot take him away since he's already tied up. And he told his other sailors to put beeswax in their ears. So small thick beeswax were put in the sailors' ears. So sailors were not able to hear what the siren is saying. So even if the siren say something, they won't be able to hear it. But Odysseus will be able to hear it, but they won't be able to control him. And if Odysseus does something, the sailors can stop him. So Odysseus listened to the siren song. They told him about various things. They were talking about wisdom, all the knowledge which they can give him. And Odysseus got very excited, and he tried to go towards them. He told his sailors to remove his untie him, but the sailors knew that untying him will lead to his death. So they didn't they stopped him. They didn't let the sirens lure him. So Odysseus was one of the few people who was able to listen to the song of sirens and still be alive. Because of his plan, he managed to listen to them. He got to, a chance to eat his cake and pie too. So this is one of the earliest stories of siren. And in his story there were only 2 sirens. When slowly in different stories there are different sirens. So up till now there are almost 10 sirens. I'll put the name of those sirens in over here on the screen, since I cannot pronounce them, and it's a very difficult name. So there is another myth of siren, which was written by Ovid, who is a Roman poet. So in his poems he wrote that the sirens were earlier humans, and they were companions of Persephone. So Persephone was Hades' wife. So Hades was in love with Persephone, and he wanted her. So he kidnapped her. He took her from her valley and took her to hell. So, and the female companions who were with Persephone, in one version they asked for wings to go and search for Persephone. So they wanted to search for Persephone everywhere. So for that they needed wings. So their wish was granted, and they were turned into birds so they can look around. In another version, they were actually cursed by Demeter. So Demeter is a goddess who is mother of Persephone. So she got very angry that they couldn't protect their daughter. So as a punishment, Demeter turned them into half birds, half humans. In Argonautica book, there was the Argonauts were sailing in the direction of where the sirens were present, and the sirens started singing the song, trying to lure the Argonauts in. But Orpheus sang a song which was more beautiful, which was more alluring than the sirens. He sang more beautifully and more loud than the sirens. So the sailors were unable to hear the siren song. So siren song didn't work on them. They were able to hear only Orpheus. So because of that, sailors were protected except one named Butus. So Butus still listened to the siren song, and he jumped into the water. But even Butus was saved by Cyprus or Aphrodite. So both are goddesses. People believe they are the same goddess. But the Cyprus or Aphrodite saved Butus, so even he was alive and well. And in this story, they say that sirens, if they try to lure men in, and if they are unable to end that man, then they die. The sirens die. So their task is to lure people in. If they are unable to, then they have to lose their life. So in this book it is mentioned. In other books it's not mentioned. So it's whether it's true or not, we don't know. So this is more like a task for them which they have to fulfill. In some version they say they just do it for fun. They get an enjoyment out of punishing men. Some say they are not intending to do, they are just singing song because they want a companion, but unfortunately the sailor lose their control. So there are like different versions of it. In this they say, in this Argonautica book, sirens lure in because if they don't, they will die. In some version they do it on purpose to hurt people. In some version they do it but it's not intentionally to hurt people. So there is like grey scale of whether sirens are good, bad, or what is going on. So now the possible explanations. There is no like an accurate explanation of why or what is siren. And this is something which I believe, since there were like huge birds, there are like either two chances. Either they are like one of the known birds like albatross, seagulls, or harpy eagle. So these are like albatross and harpy eagles are very big. Harpy eagle is now extinct, but people know of a big bird. So from harpy eagle, harpies came, and from harpies, siren came. So maybe when they were like sailors were on their voyage, they heard these birds and they got attracted to the voice of these birds, and they like started going towards the bird and they fell to their death. It can be possible. Or these sirens, harpies were like some extinct animal, something which used to exist but no longer exists now, kind of like unicorns. So in unicorns also there is two theory. Either they are rhinoceros but people misunderstand them as horses, or they were some extinct creature. They used to be unicorns, horses with unicorn in it, but they got extinct because of hunting and all. There is a possibilities. Maybe I see like a lot of animal kingdom where there are some animals which look like humans. So I have like seen some fishes which have a human face. So there is a chance back in olden times, or even right now, there could be some enough birds which have a bit of a human like face, which look like a woman. So people hear their voices, they may have a beautiful voice or something like striking voice, and which stuns or attracts people, and people want to go close to them, or people want to investigate, and then they feel that, oh my god, there is some mythical creature trying to kill me. So this is one of the possibilities. Or they can be some mythological creatures, just like gods. There could be some sirens, but then we cannot see them now. Maybe they disappeared, or they are like something which we cannot see right now. Let me know what are your like opinions, and like make a video on harpies soon. I need to collect some more information because harpies there's very like less information. There is more info on sirens only, so the video will be short. So if I find less info on harpies then I will add some more mythological creature related to them. So If possible, I will add the song Birds of Asia, which traps human soul. So it can be a mixture of those. Please stay tuned and let me know your opinion about this video and this new format. Thank you. Bye bye.